In our hand, may it be a drink, car keys, or a bag, a phone always lies somewhere in our reach. Reaching for our phone so often we tend to get bored, and that leads us to wonder. Wonder that what if, and that main what if being, what if I looked like them? In today's media, it is a very toxic and dark place, and spending every day of our lives scrolling, we start to alter a certain norm. We see all these photos and campaigns and ads that have a repetitive beauty standard. The main issue of media producing a certain beauty standard is the fact that it changes every so often, which leaves us as individuals chasing a certain look, forcing us to feel less than the people who fit the standard. I've always struggled with truly loving myself, and still to this day I struggle. Since the age of 10, I have had some form of social media, and ever since then I have not stopped comparing myself. The way my stomach rolls over when I sit down, the way my arms jiggle when I clap my hands, the way my double chin looks when I'm looking at my phone, and the way my hair is thin from being on such extreme diets. Although I know that social media is a lie, it still hurts to this day seeing all these girls with such perfect bodies. In this speech, I will be unraveling just 3 of the main issues social media has caused by promoting a certain beauty standard: the start of eating disorders, loss of self-esteem, and sexual objectification. I hope you feel a weight lifted off your shoulders after listening to this speech, knowing that you are not alone when feeling like you too are always chasing a certain beauty standard. How often do you think about what and why you are eating? Most will say sometimes and few will say always. For the few that are constantly thinking of calories, I hear you. It's hard feeling like you can't enjoy the simple pleasures of food due to you trying to shape your body into something everyone desires. Media is one of the main causes of eating disorders. How to lose 20 pounds in 2 weeks. No food, just water for 1 week made me drop 15 pounds. Pops up on your timeline. And not only does it get your attention, but you fall into the trap. You then find yourself not going out with friends because you know you will be tempted to eat and drink whatever you want because you don't want to be looked as weird. Numbers. All that floods your mind is numbers. It first starts with downloading MyFitnessPal. You just think, oh, counting the calories of my main meals won't hurt. And the next thing you know, it's everything. Counting pieces of gum and making sure you drink a whole bottle of water before you eat because that's what social media tells you to do. Counting calories can create anxiety and stress for an individual if it begins to impact their daily life in a way that is not conducive to their health or diet, says Relkin. For instance, if a person was not to eat lunch or dinner since they met their calorie goal for the day, this can be considered an unhealthy eating behavior and a symptom of anorexia. Summertime comes along and you find yourself picking out all the things that are wrong with you. You are overwhelmed with anxiety because you don't want to go to the pool looking like what you believe to be disgusting. You did not create this mindset. The media did. When someone is clueless, the first thing most people do is Google it. How to lose 15 pounds in 2 weeks is typed into your search bar. And it's a downfall from there. All these non-sustainable diets are thrown in your way, and you begin, but the weight is just not falling off as fast as you'd like. This leads you finding other alternatives that will not be spoken of due to the fact of it being so vulgar. The thigh gap pictures, the best juice cleanses for weight loss, the ads for pills that claim to help you lose weight, the jokes on Disney making jokes about bulimia and anorexia, the men's magazines telling men that women should be full-figured, the women's magazines telling men that they should be more muscular, and every magazine telling both genders to be thinner, while ignorantly and obnoxiously pick apart and compare one's body to another. The Mighty says, it sticks. We believe it, and we allow these posts to shape-shift our mind. You find yourself asking, when will I ever be enough? Or I guess you could say less, considering the ideal body image in today's society is a size 2, blonde hair, and blue eyes. When looking at the media, it can be very simple to question your self-worth. Am I pretty enough to post this? Do I look skinny enough? Or do I look too fat? Should I delete my account since I don't get a lot of likes and I don't have a lot of followers? These are questions we've probably all asked ourselves. Media tells us the larger the number of friends and followers we have, the better we are. Media is one of the main reasons we as individuals struggle with our self-worth. What are other people wearing? What are other people doing? How many people are snapping them back? When we question our self-worth is most likely caused by what we have seen. If you were to go on TikTok or Instagram and search some of the most famous women and look at their content they post, a lot of the times it comes from them showing more skin than what is considered to be normal. If you were to go and do the same thing for a man with a high number of followers and likes, it could likely be because they have materialistic things such as cars, money, and the way they dress. This makes us question our self-worth and wonder that just maybe if we had more money or we were skinnier, we could also be loved like they are by media. Something important to remember, though, is that society's portrayal of the ideal body is continually shifting. For example, in ancient Greece, the ideal body type for women was full-bodied. During the Italian Renaissance, the ideal woman had a rounded stomach and plenty of curves. The American 1990s often featured women who were very thin and lacked substantial curves with more androgynous features. The point is, don't put so much stock in what the media portrays, says BetterHelp. Seeing other people post about how wonderful their life is and how much they love themselves can be so moving, but it can also make us feel like we are not doing enough. We start to chase a life that seems so unfair, and we are then unable to enjoy the life that we have. The one thing we must remember is not everyone is perfect. No one is happy every day. Not everyone loves the way they look. And not everyone thinks they are the best of the best every day. The point of social media is that it is fake. It is a complete lie, and this leads us to our next point, sexual objectification. Media throws out that women and men should look a certain way, live a certain way, and go throughout life a certain way. And if we do not meet those standards, then we are not good enough. Media has told women that to be considered beautiful, we must show our skin, but we must look a certain way before doing it. If we do not meet that cookie-cutter criteria, then we should sit down, walk with our shoulders shrugged, and keep to ourselves. When I was younger, Halloween used to be so much fun, but as time went on, I started feeling stressed. I felt like I needed to show more skin. The cute little bunny, the school teacher, or somehow make dressing up as a tree sexy. We see the bodies of women used to sell products. Car commercials always have the beautiful, skinny blonde girl, and the shoe commercials just show the legs of women to really catch one's attention. Women have been told that we are meant to be a pretty face, stay home with the kids, and make sure our man is fed. Thankfully, movements have been created to stop women from being sexualized. And that is also known as Spark. That is a movement for girls and by girls who are creating innovative solutions against sexualization, objectification, and images of violence against women that are present in the media society. Sexual objectification in the media does not only happen towards women, but it happens towards men. Men are sought to be strong and independent and wealthy. There are so many men who go out through life feeling like there can never be a moment in which they are vulnerable, and if they do so, they are seen as weak. If they do not tick certain boxes, then they are not man enough, says Well-Doing. So, when you are scrolling through any form of social media, we must continually remind ourselves that it is, in fact, not true. Those photos you spend hours looking at wishing you looked a certain way are edited. Those men who have the mindset that showing emotions make you weak, they probably cry in silence. And the days you see the new fast weight loss diet pop up on your timeline, remember, it's not sustainable. Media has and is still changing what is considered to be perfect. We are the ones who can determine if we allow it to get a hold of us. Your weight, how much skin you show, how much you eat, and how much money you have does not determine who you are as a person at the end of the day. Stop sitting and waiting to be someone you've always wanted to be. Be that person now. We only get one life to live, so we must make the most of it. I know I don't want to die wishing I lived up my life differently. Next time you catch yourself comparing, stop, look in the mirror, and embrace what the media considers to be flaws. Give yourself a break, because we are given one body, and it wasn't built for us to sit and pick it apart. The media needs to wake up and realize that we are no longer going to let them sit and tell us that we are less than anyone just because of a few minor details. Thank you.